edition of Journey Through the Darkside. I'm Daniel.
I'm Simon.
Simon, man, what do we have on tap today?
SummerSlam 1994.
How hot was that?
It was so... It was so hot that it was scary.
That it was. I
don't know why that broke me.
it's all good. So anyways, it is SummerSlam 94. We've had a pretty good gap there between the Royal Rumble and SummerSlam. It's time for a big return. Go ahead and give us those stats, if you will, of the pay-per-view.
Okay. August 29th, 1994, from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, with an attendance of...
Last one's 14.5.
That was a big event. I mean, SummerSlam is too, I guess.
Let's go 1,200. Or 12,000, sorry.
1,200, damn.
NWA now, we're back to the NWA. 12,000.
Surprisingly enough, 23,000.
What?
This may be fluffed, I don't know.
Oh my god.
23,000.
You know, it's been a while.
So hot, it's scary.
And it is scary. You know, it's been a while since I've seen the full card. I don't remember a whole lot from this card except for the two main events, really. Razor fought Diesel, and that was a pretty good match. So yeah, Razor, Diesel, the cage match with Brett and Owen, and this Undertaker match. That's really the only thing I can remember from this thing. For better or worse, we'll get to that later, but wow, that did better than Rumble. Like, Rumble had a better card. Like, just from, like, you're literally at home going to buy pay-per-views, and the Rumble, of course it was after Christmas, I guess. Maybe that had something to do. Well, no, we're going there, yeah, so it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Jarrett beat Mabel.
the country versus rap fight. I remember that. Vaguely. All right.
But we're not going to...
Yeah, I don't say... You know, one of these days we may do a Jeff Jarrett.
We're not talking about any of those matches.
Once we get through our journey through the dark side, we'll journey through Memphis and maybe do a little country music.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'll say this though. I've done the Jarrett strut more than I have done the Ric Flair strut. Because Ric Flair has this strut, but Jarrett has this like funnier one.
There we go.
That he does like a.
Oh, it's more.
Dude, he literally does it like he goes overtime. And I mean, as a kid, I would do the Jarrett strut more. But everybody would be like, "Oh, you're doing Ric Flair." And I'm thinking like, "No, I'm doing Jarrett." But even then, I knew Jarrett was so lame. You don't even correct it.
When I was in high school, I was part of the television production team, and we did the morning and afternoon announcements, and they were broadcast on TV.
Okay.
And we had the two newscasters and the green screen and shit behind them and everything. It was pretty cool. And often I would Jarrett strut behind.
Oh, that's awesome.
Behind the guys. And
never we had footage of that.
Never got in trouble for that. I mean, no, there is. I will have to talk to a friend of mine, but I do believe there is some tape of that.
That is brilliant. I haven't done the edits in a long time, but we will find a way to get that on the episode because that's fucking gold right there.
One episode we had to reshoot because me and Joey, you know Joey?
Oh, yeah.
Joey.
Run the show. Everybody knows Joey.
Me and Joey were in charge of graphics. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but so it was a lot of wrestling things, and stuff like
as it should be. I'm not gonna lie.
As long as you had like the school logo and like something there, but like so one day it was just a giant picture of Hogan like ripping his shirt off, but it was kind of from a below angle, and our teacher was like, "Nope, we're not having this wrestler's
the
crotch."
One time he's just like, "Nope, we're not doing that." Pull the plug on it.
She's like, "I'm not gonna have this wrestler's crotch on my." And so it was some Ram or something.
That was our the Rams.
Yeah, but so Jarrett strutted a lot.
Jarrett strut's the best strut. So
yeah, we're going to Memphis one of these days.
One of these days we have to take a trip.
But unfortunately today we've taken a wrong turn into the dark side, and I think we're off the beaten path. And
I love all the fictional other shows we're going to do. Like at one point we said something about Brooklyn Brawler. We did
of course.
Mass Skyscraper, Mike Enos. We did. I'm like, one of these days people would shit if we actually did. Like, you know what, we are going to do. I mean, you can literally probably do an entire episode on one guy's career, but still, it's like we're going to go through Brooklyn. There's Brooklyn Brawler. We're going to go through Memphis. Double J. Or he's actually built from Music City, so we're going to take a journey through the Music City. So what is the main event we're looking at here? Oh, it is the main event, actually. Yeah.
For whatever fucking reason. Well, I mean, anyways.
Yeah, well I got a whole rant. We're going to unpack a rant here in a little bit. But.
Undertaker versus... Undertaker?
Wait, you reading that right? That seems weird. How's that? No.
Oh, man.
No. Okay. Now, it should be noted real quick. This is kind of the last year that I was full-time watching any product. Now, not for the reason, you said you kind of got out around this time as well, or even, before this time.
Yeah, but see, you got out probably about the same age then.
Yeah. You probably was, yeah.
Held on. Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the reason, though. The reason for why, I don't even have a reason. I don't know why.
It was this match.
That's it right here. But whatever reason, the end of '94, and I distinctly remember the build-up for SummerSlam, and I didn't watch the actual pay-per-view. In fact, this is one of those few pay-per-views that I didn't watch as a kid. I didn't watch until, a few years later. I don't know, just quit watching, and in 94 ends, I don't have a recollection of that as much, and really a lot of 95, with the exception of WrestleMania, or Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and King of the Ring, which are my three, my go-to, with the exception of Survivor Series, I didn't even catch it this year. That was it, and I didn't even watch the build-ups to those. I literally just watched the pay-per-views, and that was it. So, literally, 95 was just kind of a down year for me as well, and it wasn't until 96 that I got back into it in a big way.
So 95 might be a little bit of a cool little surprise.
Yeah, for both of us. Yeah, because a lot of the stuff we'll be seeing for the very first time, or I'll be seeing, for the very first time.
A lot of pay-per-views.
Yeah, because the birth of the birth of the In Your House. So
anyways, we'll get there. Sorry.
Yeah, we took a little detour. We took a journey through talking about the pay-per-views. Anyways, so the build-up here, without going through every little thing,
and that's what I was going to say real quick. I'll let you go.
No, you're fine.
Is so far in this series, I'm going to say personally, in my opinion, we've seen a lot more shit than we've seen good stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, it may be like 60-40 or even something like
55, 45.
I mean, it's not significant amount.
Yeah.
But one thing that remains true, I don't care if it's this match, Kamala, Giant Gonzalez, the big three so far, real bad ones, and I don't mean to spoil it. But anyways, one thing Undertaker always had and still always continue to have, great stories, great build-ups.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the hype for these matches, and I think that's what makes them so much worse when you finally see them, because it's man, I was expecting this
something different or something good, even.
And they always let him. I mean, even way into his career, they always let him have these stories. A lot of guys, during the Attitude Era and stuff. I mean, people had stories, but they weren't never elaborate.
Consistent, or even.
It was just kind of short bursts of this and that. But Undertaker always seemed to always have these cool builds.
Yep.
And these stories and stuff.
He never had a throwaway match. There was never just a random match on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It was always there was a... In fact, the last time he had a throwaway match, I guess would have been Snuka 7?
No, yeah.
And that was it. And now, even then, there was significance behind, because it was still not really passing a torch of any sense, but it's new overcoming the old and working his way up. So, I mean, it was still kind of a story, but still throwaway. But no, since then, that moment on, every pay-per-view match had a significant amount of storyline for Taker going through it.
But that's one thing I wanted to get out of the way, especially and bring up during this episode, is that the stories and the build-ups for his matches, or at least 99% of his matches, have been awesome.
Yeah, top notch.
But I think that as badass as they are, I think it has a detrimental effect on the match.
Because it overshadowed, or overhypes, I guess. Yeah. No, you're right.
But, so...
we're going to really hit that home on this one, because I think this is probably one we're going to agree pretty much on. So, Taker loses to Yokozuna at the casket match, and they shut him in there. Without going through what was really, whatever, he's gone. And to the wrestling world, his spirit is gone, and he's dead, and kind of forgotten about. But then we start hearing these different vignettes and different interviews with normal people from across America, claiming they've seen Undertaker. Now, I will say this right now. As far as these sightings, it's never clear if this is the real Taker or the faker. I guess I always hated the term Underfaker, because they never officially called him that. It was always just but as a smarky term, but it really is going to be the best way to do this show, so we'll continue, the Faker. But just know that
I created him on the last WWE game.
Oh, you did? You did
Undertaker.
Undertaker, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I get it, But
mine looked better than this.
so anyway, but he's been spotted. Now I will say, once again, this was the summer.
Just like Elvis.
And that's one thing that was kind of funny was, there were, in the 90s, early 90s especially, a lot of these weird Elvis sightings, and that's what made this even better, because it did kind of harken to that a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, this was the last big event I remember building up. So this was during the summer. I do remember watching all these very vividly. Like I said, it was really like, SummerSlam was really the last thing I kind of watched before I, faded away. And it was so cool, because it'd be like people, like a jewelry store said, like, yeah, this guy came in and bought, something. It was The Undertaker. And then, like, somebody at a deli's like, oh, no, he came in and he bought this. It was The Undertaker. And I just remember thinking, like, I believed it. Like, it was real. I'm 9 years old, so fuck you. It was real, and I'm thinking, like...
Still are.
What? Very, very much, yes. And I could think, like, these are just... once again, they never... I don't know, they may have said the sounds, I don't remember, but it was just like, it was across... So I kept thinking, like, could Taker show up in Bedford? Or parts of now, I guess, where I'm from. But could he show up here? Like, could I be going to, like, JC, or at the time, it's Foods Plus? Can I go to Foods Plus? Walk down that aisle and give me some cereal, and then Z, The Undertaker. But not The Undertaker... Like, literally just him pushing a cart.
Rocking some sweatpants.
Yeah. And like, so to me, and that's where I pulled, once again, we're going to go kayfabe, we're going Daniel kayfabe, where I tell you what really was going on, and make it real. I do think that this is the real Taker, and honestly, he was just kind of enjoying taking time off. Like, once again, he's still pissed. He's still, once again, he knows at some point him and Zuna's going to get back in there. He's not out of his contract. He's still employed by WWF for whatever reason. But anyway, because you think once you're dead, they'd be like...
Yeah, I think they'd void your
Void
contract.
it.
Yeah.
But, he's like, they'll take me back. So he's just kind of enjoying suburban life, just out and doing things. But once again, like any celebrity, it's like, holy shit, that Brad Pitt? Holy shit, that Leonardo DiCaprio? Holy shit, that's The Undertaker? People's gonna recognize him. He's a very big dude. Not someone, the sunglasses and the hat ain't gonna like cover him up. It's The Undertaker. So that's how I always kind of looked at it. Now, as time is going on now the $1 Million Man's coming out and he goes, oh yeah, no, Taker's out there. In fact, I've actually been in contact with him. I'm bringing him back because he was the one who introduced him in WWF to begin with. And so now he's like, I've been in contact with Undertaker and we're bringing him back. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember any matches, but apparently there were matches. They actually show it in the build-up. So apparently The Undertaker was in a series of matches.
Okay.
And, but honestly, I don't remember him as a kid, so I can't really give you my personal thing. But yes, The Undertaker comes back. Now, it's easy for us today to say, clearly not him. And I think when you get them side by side,
well, I was going to get into that in a little bit.
But it is kind of funny too, because Conrad, he was talking to. Sorry, I keep referencing the Bruce Pritchard podcast. But, he's a Taker fan too. He even said, he made a good point though. He's like, this is when everybody wants to bitch today about how clearly it wasn't. This is the same group of people that back in the '90s thought that when Ultimate Warrior came back, it was a totally different guy.
Yeah.
So it's like
the Ultimate Warrior died.
Yeah. This is his replacement. So it's like. Yeah, I don't. And as a kid,
I believed that shit.
Yeah,
I remember hearing. Yeah,
yeah, no, everybody did. I mean, that's the funny thing. Like, my family's not even a wrestling family, with the exception of like 2 people, and it was just common knowledge that was a different Taker or a different Warrior. So I mean, that was just it was what it was. So I remember seeing the vignettes with the Faker and thinking, yeah, it was The Undertaker. Like, I had no reason to not think it. Now, I didn't see the matches, so I don't remember that. But as a kid, I remember thinking, like, yeah, The Undertaker's back. And remember kind of being a little crushed, like, oh, he's $1 Million Man. Because at this point, $1 Million Man has been phased out. In fact, and we mentioned it, but at the Rumble, he was the commentator, which, for whatever reason...
I don't think he did too bad.
I don't think he did either. As a kid, I liked him more. Never did it beyond that. Like, that was like his last... He may have done it like on a Superstars or whatever, but he never did another pay-per-view after that, unfortunately.
Because I've never been a fan... for the most part, of like wrestlers going to commentary.
Yeah, very few of them can really pull it off. But anyway, so yeah, he would go on to form the $1 Million Corporation, which would be a massive faction, which we'll kind of touch on that here in a little bit too. But anyways, so I remember you kind of like, oh, really? Taker's teamed up with him? But to me, it made sense because, like, well, he did bring him back. Like, he was initially partners with him in that very first Survivor Series. maybe, but it's still kind of like, there's a part of me that didn't want to believe it. I was just like, I mean, I guess. I mean, because, wrestlers flip-flop all the time. My favorite wrestlers turn heel. It happens. So it wasn't like I was just like, never. But at the same time, it was just that part of me that's like, man, I don't want to believe it. It didn't seem logical, but, I mean, it's there. I'm seeing it. But then Paul Bearer comes back and says no. And he's trying to, like, talk to Taker. And, of course, Taker's kind of walking toward him. $1 Million Man pulls out that money. Pulls that green out. And Undertaker's just like... It's funny because he's acting like that's the urn now. And that's what I really loved about the build-up, was because in my mind, Taker will only react that way to the urn. And here's this guy going to the money. And when Paul Bearer's like, that's a fake, I believe Paul Bearer 100%. At that moment, I was like, yes, that's the only thing that makes sense. Taker does not care about money. He's about, I mean, he clearly won the titles. It comes with money, sure. But he's not just about that. And clearly the fact that, we didn't mention at the Royal Rumble, that's his first pay-per-view title match. And if he did stuff on Saturday Night Main Event or Raw, whatever, drop it down below. But from the Royal Rumble 92, he never had an actual title match until Royal Rumble 94.
Yeah.
So 2 years goes by, not one shot. Because it's not about the gold for him or the cash. It's just personal fucking shit getting in his way. Fucking Giant Gonzalez or fucking Kamala or fucking whatever. People get in his way, he has to fight them. That's what it is. And so when he's now money...
If they just happen to be the champion, cool.
Exactly, yeah. And the fact that he gets in the ring with Yokozuna and that's clearly something there, it's like, oh, that's bonus. He's the champion. Perfect. I'll put his ass in the coffin, take that title, boom. But now you get this Taker, now he's like all about the money, and I'm just like, no. And as that 9-year-old boy was like, yes, this makes sense. Now it makes sense. Now it's clicking. It has to be a fake. Now you gotta remember, leading up, now, for what I remember, I know they kept showing the faker. And look at it now, because we all know what Undertaker looks like. Yes, it's clearly not him. As a kid, though, it did seem like, and on the cover, and all the posters, and even on the screenshots leading up to it, it was just a picture of the Undertaker doubled. Undertaker fighting. So, I had no reason to not think anything. So, in my mind, I remember thinking, shit, we've already had multiple doinks. We don't need to get into that. But I was like, it happens. Is there 2 Undertakers? And,
we need multiple Jeff Jarretts.
Yeah. We definitely need more Jeff Jarretts. I'm sure you had to have a couple take out Mabel in this one. So, anyways, as a kid who, once again, I'm 9 years old, I was picturing a Mortal Kombat mirror match with Taker versus Taker. I really was. I know that sounds stupid, but I was expecting to see that match. I don't know why.
Well, even as a kid, you gotta go to realism for a second and say, how are they even gonna pull this off?
And so I didn't know if they had a twin brother or if there's if there's a guy just looking. And once again, we're seeing Faker on TV, but I'm thinking and he was a big dude compared to other wrestlers.
Yeah.
So it didn't dawn on me wow, that's clearly a shorter guy. I thought, no, it's shit, he's a pretty good sized guy. That's Faker. Now that I'm watching as an adult, though, I'm seeing him stand next to DiBiase, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, he's not the same size. But as a kid, so that was the build-up, and Paul Bearer promised that he was going to bring his Undertaker. DiBiase said, well, I'll bring my Undertaker, and we'll see who the real one is. And that was the build-up. Now, there was another kind of goofy, and as a kid, I'm a huge Naked Gun fan.
Oh, yeah, I watched all those, too.
Love them. I don't like this shit mixed in my wrestling. And even as a kid, didn't care for it.
Yeah, I watched them, and I was just like,
And so,
that's
around this time,
that's unnecessary.
It really was. And at this time,
I guess one of them was coming out.
Naked Gun, 33 1/3, The Final Insult's coming out. Big fan of it, too. Good movie. OJ's last film. O.J. Simpson's last film, so, you got that going for it.
What would he go on to do?
Oh, he would be pretty famous, actually. He'd be on a lot of TVs after that.
I think he probably did better after that.
Shit. Yep, he definitely was. So, anyways.
Fuck football and movies.
So, they did these kind of
We just don't care around
here.
here.
We really don't, yeah. At this point, you're watching this, you know how we do things here. But at this point, they're doing these different vignettes, and Leslie Nielsen. And that's the funny thing, they didn't call him Frank Drebin. They called him Leslie Nielsen. Yeah. But he's acting like Frank Drebin. And they even bring George Kennedy at the pay-per-view. Once again, playing George Kennedy, not playing his partner Al. It was just kind of a weird whatever. Yeah. Anyways, so they get these guys, and they're on the case to solve the case.
They're on the case.
They're on the case, literally on the case.
Like, they had all those little...
Yeah. It really was a Naked Gun mini segment. And you put them all together, it really was like another Naked Gun spinoff. And I know, we just talked about how last week it was all hokey bullshit with, but this is where I call it hokey. Like, this is where I'm just like, I turn into Cornette here. I'm like, no, not in my wrestling. I don't like, they did it recently a few months back with Rick and Morty and AEW. Same thing. I don't like it. I don't want, Chucky did it with Rick Steiner on Halloween. I don't like it. I just don't. And once again, I will sit here and defend. I'll even defend Fake Taker to a certain extent. I will defend his soul going up. I'll defend all that. The Boogeyman. I'll defend it. I will not defend this hokey shit. But anyways, lead up to the match, there's a lot of these different
Tell us how you really feel.
They do all these little things where at one point, like, Leslie Nielsen's backstage and you see the Undertaker at the end of the hallway like a shadow. Of course, then, the lights are all... And it looks good. Like, don't get me wrong. Production value, it looks fine. And of course, you see the tape where they walk back there and then it's nothing. And what's going on, and they say some puns or whatever. At a point in the pay-per-view where Frank actually comes out, Leslie Nielsen comes out with George Kennedy, crowd don't really care. Like, that's the other thing. Like,
that didn't get over at all.
Exactly, that's the thing. Like, it just seems like, and like even me, who's a huge Naked Gun fan, and R.I.P. Leslie Nielsen, I'm a huge Leslie Nielsen fan. I wouldn't have cared. I would have been like, buddy, like, I'll watch your movie. I'm paying the at that time $5 for the movie ticket. I'll watch your movie. I'm not watching you here. And he comes out at one point and says a few funny little puns, which, once again, standalone's not bad, but the crowd's not having it. No one cares. And then you actually see a silhouette of the Taker in the Titantron, or the entranceway, sorry.
Yeah.
And then he turns around, of course, when it opens, there's nothing there. And so it's just like, why? And then, like, let's go realistic. Who is that? Was it the Faker or was it the Taker? And if it was either one, why are they jacking around with Leslie Nielsen when there's a match coming up? Like, I can't even make... You know how I like to take us through kayfabe land and make all these goofy things real? Simon.
Yeah, they got you, didn't
they? I can't do it. Was Taker just like, I'm back, this fucker's walking around posing, acting like he's me? I'm the real Taker. Palmer's like, I know, we'll take him down. Like, yeah, we'll fucking take him down. Wait, that the guy from Naked Gun? I love that guy. You know what? Bear's like, listen, I can fucking man. I'm good. It's like, dude, you just got off your first injury. Like, you're hurt. Like, I know you've recuperated, but you haven't wrestled since. You may want to. You got some rust on you. Let's just take. He's out the hallway. What's up?
You know what's funny?
He runs away, and then done that twice in the night. Fucking ridiculous.
There's 3 segments, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
There's the one where they're in the
hallway,
then there's the one where they come out, and there's one after.
At the end, we'll get to that. Yeah, I won't hit that one just yet.
All I'm saying is that, like, not once did they mention, and coming soon to theaters.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Like, they never said, like, hey, we got a movie coming out. Like, usually, like, the commentators will say, hey, Naked Gun, this and that's coming out, blah, blah, blah. Like, let's go to Leslie Nielsen, who's on the trail of the Undertaker.
Yep, and not once did they do it. Now,
if they did, I don't know if they cut it out of the...
network. I was going to say, could it have been a network thing because it's like Paramount.
So if they did, let me know.
Yeah, let us know down there because honestly, I've never... The network's first time I saw the pay-per-view, actually, because I saw the matches, certain matches, because they were on like best of DVDs throughout whatever. I have the Undertaker versus Undertaker match over there in my...
Now, they may have played a trailer or something for it, too.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying, yeah. So it could have been, we don't know. So as far as the network exclusive, though, but still, yeah, it's just like, what the fuck? So, anyways, let's get to
Were they relevant, then? To that crowd, I mean?
No, I don't think so. Because clearly the crowd... And, like, this is like... We're talking about a company that will sweeten and alter shit, and they didn't sweeten shit on this card.
No.
And we'll get to that, too. Like, that crowd was just, like, not having anything. But anyways, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's get to the actual match. So, Undertaker comes out. Millionaire Man comes out and introduces Undertaker. And there he is. And even then, when you look at the face, it's like, yeah.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Couldn't believe... and of course, you're saying, oh, he done these appearances and done this. And I was like, yeah, that's him. Clearly, that's him.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Couldn't believe just how bad he looked.
Yeah, like not even
for
close.
some reason, like, in my mind, I'm like, I remember him looking really good. Like,
see, me too.
Like they drew the tattoos on him
Yeah.
and everything. Like, but it's like, man, he's out there, and it's like, oh wow, that's. Cause, I mean, and they probably should have not done the close-ups.
That's where I was gonna get to. Yeah, as far as directing, no, you're fine. You're glad you hit it because I mean, literally, that's the thing. I think they would have been far away, and even Bruce Prichard said at some point, which now it's funny that we do it for the Fiend matches. But like at one point, they were even talking about maybe like I guess he did wrestle leading up to this. I didn't know that, and people knew. I guess the smart fans knew like it wasn't him, but they were even toying with the idea of maybe doing like a purple light. During Undertaker's kind of known for the darkness or whatever for those matches. And I'm like, honestly, it probably been for the best in all reality because honestly, watching this at home, no doubt in your mind. And even back then, I don't know how I would have reacted until you saw the real Taker come. Then you would be like, well, fuck, they're clearly two different guys or whatever. But when that first guy comes out, when it's Brian Lee, just should have mentioned that, it's Brian Lee comes out and he does his thing. They do a close up right on his face, and you're just like, no. Like, not even slightly.
It seems like from the further away shots, and like, he's walking to the ring, the music's playing, it's like, oh, I could still buy this.
Absolutely.
But it's like that close-up, that instantly ruined it. Like, that was it. I was like, yeah.
Nope. And like I said,
And I would see, even as a fan, trying to believe it.
Yeah.
Which one's got the real, as soon as that, never mind.
Nope, yep, you knew exactly. So, once again, it is what it is. I do like the small little touches. He does bring the lights up. I like that.
I mean, he definitely did his homework.
Absolutely. And they even, I'll talk a little bit more about the real, not just my goofy kayfabe reel, but like the real, story behind it. Because I just recently listened to the podcast, just for preparation of the show, and there is one thing that I do like that Bruce Prichard says, and I will get to that later when we get there. But anyways, so he looks the part, sort of. He's acting the part pretty good. But then it doesn't matter because the lights go out. And then, of course, we get Paul Bearer coming out first. Mm-hmm. And, of course, he's just like, oh, yes, whatever. And then the Druids come out. Phil and Jim from Royal Rumble helping him out. That's who they are from now on. That's canon. Phil and Jim.
They cut him down out of the rafters.
Exactly. And they've been hanging out. They've just been hanging out at his colonial house. And
building caskets.
Building caskets. So they bring out this big casket. It's the same casket from the Royal Rumble, which I thought was really cool too. And their little attention to detail that WWF just doesn't give a fuck about anymore. And so they open it up. And you're thinking Taker's gonna pop out, but no, we get this even bigger urn, like Uber urn, like fuck Uber Jason. This is Uber urn, and this thing's massive. And Paul Bearer takes it out.
Definitely fuck Uber Jason.
So they open this thing, and then you can hear and he opens it up, and of course it's shaking. And he's the first time I watched it, because I was probably in high school when I watched this match. I mean, once again, I didn't watch this pay-per-view when it first came out, and I heard the results later on, and they clearly won the bury it. So they're just like, and last night the real Undertaker emerged, and he beat the faker Undertaker, and that was all you saw. You maybe saw a snapshot of them staring off each other, but that was it. They buried it, and we moved on to other business. They even knew they had dog shit on their hands. Yeah. So I honestly never saw this. So when I watched it, now I'm older, it's Attitude Era. Seeing Paul Bearer, whoa! You can't help but laugh. And even as an adult trying to recapture that instance, like, no, it's still kind of whatever. But he's selling it. And dude, give it credit, the crowd is going nuts. Like, the crowd's hot for this entrance. I will say, even probably the hottest. I haven't seen a pay-per-view in a long, long ass time. Probably the hottest they've been the entire night. Like, this is it. Nuts.
Yeah.
And then lights go out. Castle's being carried away, and then no, it didn't get carried away. Sorry, it's still out there. Yeah. The Druids walk away, but then the Titantron thing opens up. The entire night they're walking through the entrance ramp, but the Titantron, you're seeing the graveyard, you're seeing spooky shit, and it opens up. God damn, there's a Taker, and I'll tell you right now, it's an awesome poster quality shot.
Yeah.
Just the purple light, the fog, silhouette, and just something about the way he's standing. He's the Undertaker. Like, I don't care what that motherfucker did, how much homework he did, how decent he looks from far away. One shot of him, you're just like, Taker. No close-ups, no details, a fucking silhouette, Taker. And, dude, the crowd is jacking off at this point. Like, everybody is just pounding off, best thing, fucking, the champagne's going all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
I feel bad for the cleanup crew.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Taker gets in the ring. And even from the faraway shot of
And
them.
here we go. We get the second.
Yeah. And the second, of course, you get... First, they're standing off from each other in corners. Even there, from a faraway shot, it's so obvious. Like, nope, there's no comparisons. Now, they would say later on that they purposely did the gray gloves for Faker.
Yeah.
The old school Taker. And then, of course, for the new, the comeback Taker, purple gloves. I love the purple look. To me, I've always think, as far as those two looks, now I ain't gonna lie, I'm a big Ministry of Darkness Taker fan. I like that look. But if we're going Western Taker, purple glove. Love that glove. So anyways.
No, when they did the nose to nose, or the nose to chin.
Well, first I'll just say, we'll get that in a second. First they do the Harpo Marx mirror gag, and I'm just like, really? And once again, I'm like, okay, maybe Brian Lee will do that. Okay, from a 9-year-old perspective, maybe he just doesn't give a fuck. He's going to get paid a lot of money from Million Dollar Man.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking good money. He's getting paid Hogan money from the Million Dollar Man. I believe that because why wouldn't I? He's the Million Dollar Man. Get paid off that money. So he probably is just kind of like, fuck it. Taker's doing it too. I'm just like, why? Maybe, and here's the only way I can justify it, is he's just like, you want to have some fun, buddy? We'll have some fun. And I'm going to kill you. That's all there is to it. You think this is goofy? But still, yeah, it's just... And then we go nose to nose, or as you said...
Nose to chin.
And
again,
so...
it was that second like flash. It was like, man, I just remember him being better looking than this. Like I thought he was.
Both of us.
Because I thought that they had I thought there was a story where they said that they even put lifts in the guy's boots or something to give him a little height.
See, that's what I was thinking.
And if they did that, they couldn't have added just a little bit more.
A little bit more. Made the boots bigger. Whatever the case could have been. I don't know. So, the bell rings.
And then the bell rang. One of Pritchard's quotes.
Yeah. Oh no. This is it. This is the match that perfectly described. Like what that means goes to this match so much. I'll let you start. Go ahead and start first. I mean, just give us some of the details. Give us your rundown of the match.
Remember what I told you about on paper looking at a Yokozuna.
Yeah.
That happened here.
Yeah. No, in every sense of the word.
And, obviously Taker's working down to this guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he definitely is.
Because we know he can go. And if you're going to have an underfaker, get an underfaker that can go.
Yeah. I will...
I mean, it wasn't
Yeah. No, I won't slightly defend this, but no, you're right. No, you're absolutely right, though.
But, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean...
The match itself... technically wasn't a horrible match as far as there's no major botches.
Yeah.
But it was so fucking slow.
Yeah.
The crowd completely dead.
Yeah, unfortunately, like you said, they went from the hottest of the night to just...
Yeah.
Oh.
And the thing is so crazy.
I think we're more excited when Leslie Nielsen came out.
Honestly, yes, because and Vince tried to save it. Vince said something to the audience like, the crowd is stunned.
They're speechless.
They're speechless. It's like, no, they just know that this is complete dog shit.
And they're not.
And another thing, too, Pritchard defends it by saying this, and this ain't what I was talking about earlier, I'll get to that in a second, but Pritchard says that, they just came off an insane cage match, which, honestly, if you haven't checked out that cage match between Brett and Owen, one of the best old-school cage matches ever. The best. In a blue bar cage match, that's it. There is no better one.
I saw Jarrett and Mabel.
Jarrett, they were hopping for that one, I guarantee you.
Yeah, I'm sure they were
So,
out.
that's what Bruce says. It's like, well, they just saw the biggest match, greatest match ever. They were going crazy. So they were wore out. I'm like, no, they weren't, because they were clearly excited for the entrance.
Yes.
The entrance is like, did they wear themselves out on the entrance? No. This was just garbage. And they do pop for certain things throughout the match. And I'm not going to lie, it's not big pops. It's not like, holy shit, Taker. No, they just, whatever. And so the crowd's dead. And I will say, that's kind of a weird thing. No matter how good a match is, even if you're watching at home, if you don't hear, it's just like, to me, it's a perfect combination of great commentary, great crowd reactions, and great wrestling that really pulls the whole picture together. And I feel like if you're missing any of those, it is kind of hard for me to get into it or invested. A lot of times you watch these old house show matches. The ones that they taped but they didn't quite air, that they just found in the archives. And before the network, it was WWE 24/7.
Yeah.
And they would throw them out there with no commentary, or they would later go on and do like retro commentary. But those first ones, just wrestling, I can't get into that. It seems so boring. Like, the only way I can watch it without commentary is if you're there live. That's the only way you can get by that. Watching at home, just watching two guys, it's like playing the video games on mute.
Yeah.
It'd be weird. It's just like, what? Yeah, music or something playing.
You can turn the commentator.
Yeah, you can, but it's like, no matter how bad it gets, it's like you still want to hear it.
That's a difference.
Yeah, we don't need to open that up. But here, it's just like the commentator was doing their best. I'm not blaming them at all. Who was the other? Was it Lawler? Was it Lawler and McMahon?
Lawler, okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember.
All these,
I got them all there.
Because these 3 for 1994 that will be doing. I think there's 3 different fucking.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, because DiBiase and Vince was last week. This week it was Vince and Lawler.
It's kind of been like, I guess it took them a while to finally get a
good
set team. I mean,
and then next week
after
we'll get
Heenan
Monsoon.
and Gorilla were.
Yeah. That was just musical chairs, just trying to find the right. Which I think they would eventually kind of settle on Lawler and McMahon until right before the Attitude Era, and then it would be.
Yeah, because JR's there, but he's not really.
No. In fact, I've been going back and rewatching these. After WrestleMania 9, he was used so sparsely. In fact, they bring him and Gorilla out for one matches. So at Survivor Series 93, there was a Smoky Mountain tag team match. They bring them both out for that match only. Royal Rumble 94, the Razor IRS match, that match only. It's just like, I don't know why they did that. And I don't know if it was just if he just didn't like JR, or if it was just like Monsoon's like, I want to do one more match, or I want to do at least one match of pay-per-view, or whatever case. I don't know what the reason is, but you're right. But it was musical chairs for a good while.